Hey, young America, we need to talk. You may think this is uncool. You may even think it is bogus. But I want to tell you about something that has everyone buzzing. Something that concerns mature boys and girls just like you. Something called grassroots.
This is Erin Ashley Simon.
And this is Brandon Killabh.
And welcome to another episode of Grassroots Podcast, where it's not just about where you're going or currently are, but it's also about where you came from. And we decided to switch things up a little bit for this episode. You know, as you can see, a little different decor.
Nice corporate environment. We stepping it up,
right?
With no sponsorships though.
We getting there though. We are getting there. We have a special guest. Of course, we have a ritual of always letting them introduce themselves. So,
that's nice. I like that. Like I said to the camera, I'm Caleborate, also known as TBKTR, also known as Real Person Number One. Just made that now. I'm gonna make a T-shirt or something like that that says that. I'm glad to be here with you guys.
Appreciate you. So, tell us about yourself, Caleborate. First off, we normally don't jump straight into music, but I'm curious. Your album came out 2016, titled 1993. I searched. I didn't understand why the 1993. So tell me, what inspired that? Why go that direction? What was pivotal with 1993?
1993 is my birthday. So
okay.
It was when I title projects, or really when I title anything, when I do anything, I'm kind of all about being straight to the point and very efficient with it. And if you look across all my titles on my projects, Hella Good, 1993, Real Person, they're just like really, It's very consistent. And the projects, I think they all benefit from the titles. Like Hella Good was a hella good project. It was really good. 1993, like I said before that project came out, I wanted to talk about the experiences of a 20-something surviving at that time, living in the Bay Area, college, the whole nine. And so 93 being my birth year, that left me at 22, 23 years old. So it just really set the table for the experience, for the project. And then, I know we're going to talk about the new project later, but Real Person does the same thing. So.
Yeah, all right. So let's go back. I didn't mean to detour. I was just really curious about that. I was trying to understand. So.
Oh yeah, no, it's fine. Brandon, this is kind of like the first time he's really getting into your music and who you are.
Yeah,
I've heard about you for some time. I was listening to his music and posted his music a while ago. It's been pretty cool to kind of see how you progress, because even with Real Person, I can tell that is much different from 1993 in terms of the sound, even your flow. And it seems like you have matured in a sense, or had different experience. Within your music on Real Person, you even address current climate of what is going on in terms of the presidency. You even talk about how you've come up, and how at one point you didn't really have that much money. You only had enough money to buy weed, and that's pretty much it.
Barely even that. Barely enough money to buy food. It was lit. It was the struggle is what makes you though. But the way that I got into that mindset on this project, I think now I'm sort of evolving into not just using my voice to speak of my experience, but to relate that experience to the world, people like myself. And 1993 was the baby step. It was close, On this project, I found a way to make my story palatable. I've been saying that word a lot today. I don't know why. I didn't find a synonym for that. But I found a way to make my story, able to be understood by a lot of people, the masses. You know what I mean? And I did that by, when I sat down and started writing stuff, I would just always say, well, what's important to you? And what do you want to talk about? What do you feel? And it starts to evolve from where am I at personally in my life, and it goes from that to what needs to be said. Where's the void, you know, in music, and you start to use your experiences to accurately depict like how that, you know, what I'm saying, how it feels to everybody. So that's, you know, I'm starting to get to the project. Stop talking about myself all the time. Speak for the people. You know, just about.
Now, you're what, 23?
24 now.
24, my bad. Yeah,
you're younger than I am.
That year matters.
I'm
though.
1992.
That year matters, man. I'm telling you, you learn so much, especially in music. I feel like, you know, as you're putting out music and creating, you grow faster than what you normally would living, or I guess leading what, quote unquote, a normal life.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you kind of harnessing this and kind of looking to become a vessel. What have you been through that's led you to this point that now you feel like you want to be able to connect with your audience and give them some light or direction?
Everything that I talked about in the project, much of it happened over the course of the last 8 to 12 months of my life. Seeing my dad again for the first time in a few years, maybe a little more. You know, just trying to survive, losing a friend. You know, like you said, 24 is a big year, and I think the early 20s are a big step for your life. It's like really that beginning of your independent journey, and you finding out who you might be, who you could be, you know, for the rest of your life. So every experience that I go through, especially ones that are profound, ones that leave me feeling like a specific way, like specifically losing my friend, I took that and I really wrote about it. I really wrote about how it made me feel with regards to other people that were coming around. I mean, it still weighs on me heavy. I listen to music that has gun violence, you know what I'm saying, just trivializing. I'll be like, damn, the song's hot, but you know what I mean? The repercussions are real. So, you know, to become that vessel, I've had to sort of step outside of myself and realize, like, you know, how is everything affecting everybody else in the world, and then how it's affecting me, and sort of, it's this weird thing about being an artist, being able to, like, take 1,000 opinions or whatever and speak for them, you know what I mean? Yeah. Or put the words, you know, to the paper and make everyone understand, you know, what's going on. So the experiences, you know, all the real stuff that I talk about in the project really shaped me, you know, and made me want to write about it.
So through your entire body of work, I know for those who may not know about you, when your parents got divorced, your dad moved to Atlanta, kind of lost communication with him there. He got locked up, I guess at least once. Now that he's back into your life, how has that situation or relationship with your father affected not only this project, but your entire body of work? Because I'm sure there was different phases of your relationships with each project itself.
Sure. So where it stands currently is it's like it's healing. Yeah, I mean, it's like the Band-Aid over it right now. It's not fully healed. We haven't fleshed everything out. But going to see him this year, kicking it with him, talking with him, sharing some things with him, you know, it was like it made up for a lot of lost time. Just being there physically with somebody is big. But, you know, throughout the time where I didn't have him, and when he got locked up, it just forced me to mature as a man, like, on my own in some ways, you know. I used to talk to my dad a lot when I was in high school, when I lived with him. I used to talk to him a lot, share everything with him, ask him, you know, counsel, what should I do? What do I do in this situation? I need help, whatever, and not having that, it just forces you to grow. I mean, you know, my situation, as bad as it may have been, I'm still blessed because my dad is still here. He wants to be in my life, you know what I mean? So I can still have him in my life, you know. But that absence, it weighed on me. You know what I mean? It was pretty tough. But the music, you know, it's like my therapist. It's like my psychiatrist, you know. So I'm able to put those things down, and I'm sure he's heard some of the records, and that's kind of like me talking to him, letting him know how I feel. Maybe I don't always have the strength to tell him that on the phone or face to face, because it's your dad. It's kind of hard to, you know what I mean, just get at pops like that and tell him how you really feel. But on the record, it's a lot easier, and I feel comfortable sharing that stuff with the people. I know other people go through that kind of stuff too.
Now, when you're writing these records, right? Obviously, everyone has their own idiosyncrasies when they're creating and trying to just create a body of work. Do you ever factor in how it's perceived from your family or your pops? Like, when you're writing these records, did you ever say, like, damn, I wonder if I shouldn't say this? Or
Certainly. I even have a reference to that in one of my songs, Consequences. I was talking about it, and I was like, my dad would probably be mad once he hears it, you know what I'm saying? But then I was like, well, I'm mad because I wish you would have. The situation how he ended up in jail, I found out, and when I found out, he had already been in jail for like 3 weeks. You know what I mean? Like where was the phone call? Or, you know what I mean? So that kind of leaves you being like, okay, so we're just going to jail. We're just going to jail now.
Right, so we just out.
That's what we're doing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, anything can happen when you locked up. Like, I mean, he wasn't in prison, thank God, but it doesn't matter. Like, anything can happen. You know what I mean?
Jail is jail.
Jail is jail.
Yeah.
I don't want to go.
It's not like Monopoly.
Yeah, word.
Not at all. It's real life. So, I definitely think about that though. But at the end of the day, I'm very unapologetic about, what I write. If I put something down on a pad or in my notes on my phone, rather, if when I'm reciting it or reading it back, if I feel it and it's from the heart, I'm not gonna change it, because that's the magic right there. It really is that truth. You know what I'm saying? So I put truth over
anything else.
Yeah, all the time.
I mean, it's your story.
Yeah.
Like that is your story. Those are your feelings,
right.
And that's what music is. It's about your truth, your story, and what's going on with you.
Yeah, definitely.
But even on like another note that's kind of tied with this, your brother Cash. So his brother is a singer, really dope, does really well on Pandora. It's crazy because I think I connected with your brother first.
Maybe, yeah.
And then I was like, wait a second, you guys are siblings, like actual siblings?
It's so crazy because everybody calls everybody brother now. Like, that's my brother.
Yeah.
That's my bro. Like, so people don't be knowing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was like, no, that's like my actual
real
blood brother.
Yeah.
I was like, and then I saw, I was like, oh, snap. So like I saw that when the situation with your dad happened, you stayed with him. And how has your brother been in terms of like influence on you? Because I say like he was going. Did he get his PhD yet?
Oh, he's on it. He's working on it.
He's working on it. Yeah.
No, he's a smart
Yeah. So he's getting his
Shout out to
PhD.
Cash
Yeah.
Campaign, man.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Singing and getting the PhD, man. Doing it.
And got a son.
And got a son. Doing it in a way nobody's doing it, man. He's really like revolutionizing low key R&B singing. Like nobody's done it. You know what I mean?
Facts.
That's
lit.
Yeah, it's super impressive.
But so you're saying how? I'm sorry.
No. So like, how has he influenced you? Because like you don't have a father figure at that time, so you kind of had your older brother.
Well, yeah. I mean, all my like, big brothers, like all my OGs, young OGs, whatever you want to call them. You lean on them. It's natural. You know what I mean? Any dude is gonna look for a like strong male brother. You just gotta discern. You gotta like. But one thing I'm thankful for is that even when my pops got locked up, by the time when I left the crib at 17 to just go live life, like I had a lot of tools. You know what I mean? Thankfully, like he gave me a lot of tools. I'm able to always sift through a game that people give me and find what I need, and not just, you know what I'm saying? Because everything is not always one size fits all with advice people give you. So I'm able to find what I need and learn and see people do their thing and kind of take from that. People are doing something that's working. I analyze and say, well, what are they doing that's working and what am I not doing? So I'm thankful for that aspect of it. And, my brother, my manager, Nick, I mean, those guys that look out for me. And, when people love you, they're going to look out for you no matter what, whether it's good or bad. Having my brother be there for me, supportive of my music, supportive of me going to school, just always giving me game. And we were going through that together, you know what I'm saying? So we were able to lean on each other when shit was weird or like when we found out, it was like, yo, this is mad crazy. Like, you know what I mean? This is crazy.
Yeah.
But thankfully, like, all right, now we know we're gonna go to Atlanta and we get a chance, or we're gonna try to figure this out. Like, it was it's good. You know, I'm thankful that I always have somebody in my corner.
Yeah.
You know, God has blessed me for sure to always have somebody in my corner, whether it's family or a friend. And so I take that blessing and I do the best I can with it, you know. So thankfully, like, I'm here now, you know what I mean? So maximizing that. For sure.
Now, yo, I'm curious because you rap, your brother is a singer. Are you guys, I guess, the family celebrities at this point? Because I'm like, damn, you got one talent.
Right.
You know how normally it's more maybe like one or two that's
Right.
sprinkled in. It's like, all right, he's gonna be good. You got your uncle that's an alcoholic. You got you got the one cousin you want to stay away from.
Family cookout situation.
You got the one cousin you don't want to really let him in the house because of steal shit. Is it one of those times where you guys now are, I guess in a sense, able to coach each other? Like you're both, even though it's two separate genres, but you're still in the entertainment business. You're still growing.
Of course. The two of us lean on each other all the time. We, you know, ask for honest critiques of the music. We collab all the time. He got a song getting ready to come out. It's called Holy Matrimony, and obviously it's about, you know, marriage. He's you know, he's married, got a kid, and the whole nine. So that's such a beautiful song for us to have made, and I'm rapping from my perspective, like a young cat who could potentially be falling in love, making that marriage decision, and he's rapping from the perspective of like, I've been there and I proposed to my wife and did the whole nine. So we link up all the time, and I don't know, we're always playing music or talking, and I'm always talking to my brother, asking advice. I see the new songs, yo, what do you think? Because he's been hearing my music since I was 16, 17, so he'd be like, yo, this is not your best stuff. Or, man, this is better than you killed that verse. Even I know for real, when he says, like, yo, this might be one of the best songs you ever made, I'm like, he's probably right. Because he's heard a lot of them, even the whack ones. So even though there's a difference in the style of music that we make, like you said, you know, we are the music kids of the family, the ones who do the show, you know, we be doing that, whatever. And it's a beautiful thing. Our family loves it. My mom always requests that we sing something or rap something. Any family get together, she always want to hear a song. I'm going to play a song. So it's a beautiful thing. It really is.
Yeah, no, that's definitely beautiful. And it's great that you guys come together and support one another for your music and kind of like uplift each other. And especially, I got to ask you, like, how do you guys handle the quote unquote Bay Area fame? Because I was reading an article, and what I found was really interesting was like during this interview, like mad people came up to you, and the lead singer of Counting Crows came by, and like apparently like no one really went up to him, but everyone was going up to you, was like asking for like photos and stuff. So like, and apparently in this interview they were saying that it's a very unique like kind of like fame situation going on in the Bay Area. Like, so what's the deal with that? And like, do you and your brother get like people come up to you guys often?
Yeah, the Bay, you really in the Bay, if you're famous, you like famous within whatever culture circle that you work in. Like, truly, if I'm like, what we call it Baymous now, we've been saying Baymous.
That's kind of fire. That's fire.
You Baymous, you Bay famous, but it's within the culture. You know what I mean? And the culture in the Bay Area, when I say the culture, I mean, you know, the hip hop kids, the rappers, the artists, all the young people doing stuff, doing podcasts, doing shows, whatever. The culture is for certain not as large out there as it is out here. So once you get some notoriety, you know what I mean? Once you get your little clout, once you get your little name, your little followers up, you naturally get that response. But I mean, we never really been that, like, I've never really been on the whole fame thing. You know what I mean? I'm really like focused on two things, like primarily with doing music, telling my story, you know what I'm saying, doing it how I want to do it, get paid. Like, it's about, like, I mean, it's like being a basketball player. I want to play good and I want to get paid for it. I don't really care about like being on NBA style. Like, that's all that kind of stuff is just, I have my own personal things that I like, that I feel satisfaction from.
Yeah.
Fame is not one of them. I get more satisfaction out of making a great song. It's better than me play a great song in front of 10 people and see all their faces light up versus walk in the room and just see their faces go, like, Just love my music.
Yeah, you seem like you really don't. Like, I believe you. Like, most artists, when you hear that shit, like, nigga, get the fuck out of here. Like, you want the fame. Like, I believe you.
Yeah, I mean.
And you really seem, what's the word? I don't want to say mature, but.
Say mature, that's good.
Ahead of his time. But I feel like you're really ahead of your time. Like, you're talking like an OG. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, people tell me
I'm impressed.
People tell me I'm an old soul all the time. I attribute it mostly to I never really hung out. I never had close friends that were always my age.
Mm-hmm.
Nick is my best friend. He's 3 years older than me. You know what I mean? My brother was my best friend. Is and was my best friend when I was growing up and stuff. He's 7 years older. Mm-hmm. So I'm getting accelerated game all the time. I'm learning things about how to talk to girls that cats my age and never even, you know what I mean? Or I'm learning things about how to conduct myself in public or just anything. You know what I mean? So I get, it's just that wisdom. So when it gets passed down, like one of the best things I have to say that I really do is I'm able to listen. Like I do listen. I didn't at one point, you know, but I don't know what, maybe something clicked. Maybe it was God just turned something on my head. But now people say stuff to me and I listen. And like I said, I take the good and I take, you know what I mean, I apply it, but, you know, I always just try to remain humble. Like, I remain humble because I've seen cats fall off. Like, I've seen cats have to do that, like, you know, come back. You know what I mean? I don't ever want to be that dude. I'm like, look, if I fall off because of my music, okay, that's the music, but I don't ever want to fall off like you was acting funny style. You were right back, you thought you was this, and that, because then when you do that, people feel it like personally they don't want to fuck with you.
Yeah.
If your music is whack, people be like, look, man, just get the shit sounding good, and we can get something going. And even if it's whack, man, just be like, good luck, keep doing your thing that you love.
Yeah.
So to me, that's more important than the fame, because the fame is like it comes and goes. It's so whatever, you know. It comes and goes.
So, what advice did you get for talking to girls? Because talking to girls as like a regular person is very much different than talking to girls.
That's what I'm sitting up here thinking. Because you're Baymous and you have a lot going on, and I always joke on my friends that are popular. I'm like, man, you got the Trump card. You can go ahead and walk anywhere and just, just tap a girl in the arm. I'm like, yo, what up? And they come at me. I'm like, yo, I give you $5. I give you So I mean, it's different for the normal people of the world, quote unquote.
I just watch everything happen.
Yeah.
Well,
you just watch.
It's a mindset. I think it's a mindset that you carry yourself like, oh, I'm the shit. You know what I mean? Okay, I'll put it this way: like you could carry yourself like famous, like I'm the shit. You could be famous, right? Actually, be famous, have a million followers, whatever, and carry yourself like, oh, I know I'm a million followers, I'm big time, whatever. And that's cool. What you're probably doing in that regard is you'll remove yourself from many situations. By being that way, you remove yourself from fucking with anybody who wants to just fuck with you for you.
Yeah.
You'll only fuck with people who give you that kiss your ass, like, oh my God. So you go after girls like that or end up at the spots where everybody's kissing your ass. But if your mindset is like, yo, don't kiss my ass. Like, that's how I'll be like, yo, don't do that. Like, please don't do that. It makes me uncomfortable. Don't do that. I'd rather you just be like kicking it in the room, because it's like, the truth, like we all know I wake up in the morning, brush my teeth too. You know what I mean? I'm human, man. My shit stink. Like, I'm a human being. I can't, there's no need to front. You know what I mean? So, but it's just, when it comes to girls, like when it comes to talking to girls, I don't fuck with girls that don't want to fuck with me because of clout. Yeah. That's hella whack. Like there's nothing.
But I think because now again you're starting to reach new heights. I think as an entertainer you're naturally, very on guard, and you're just like, do you think you've missed out on a few girls just because you'd be like, and then like, damn, she really was on me for me.
I freak out on the slightest little thing that might show, like the slightest little thing. Oh, can you tag me? And I'll be like, why you want to be tagged?
Start interrogating that shit.
My photo credit. I'd be like, why you need photo credit? You know what? I'm gonna take the photo down. Like, I'm a little too paranoid about it, but not crazy. But I'm very like, it's just important to me that when someone fucks with me, they just fuck. I mean, it's just like, if you fuck with me, that's fine. You know what I mean? It's cool. If you don't, that's cool too. Like, but I feel like I'm a easy enough guy to get along with it. Just rock with it. You know, we don't have to be best friends, but hey, what's up? How you doing? Boom. Like I feel like it's easy enough to do that. So I mean, I guess I also try to like make sure that if it comes to girls or anybody, I'll try to make sure that whoever I'm rocking with, whoever I'm talking to, like that it's authentic and that they have something to bring to the table as well. You gotta be mindful. I mean, unfortunately, you do gotta be mindful of that as you get big. Like, okay, who am I talking to? Who am I keeping?
Yeah.
People do want to come up, you know. So
it's funny that he's saying that because that's what us women go through. Like, is he just trying to get in my panties, or he actually cares about me? So it's like now y'all know how we feel. Every time we be going out, like it's like
funny. I never had nobody put it to me like that, but
it's like a CSI investigation. Like
you gotta keep your little eye.
But then we got like mental folders, like this is what a fuckboy does, this is what this guy does. So like you come to us and be like, all right, kind of know what this person is. But they surprise you.
But I feel his pain because I feel like groupies nowadays, like they're getting smarter.
Groupies are like Pokemon. Like they fucking evolve with this level. It's crazy. Man.
That's like some Dragon Ball Z shit. They go Super Saiyan on you. You don't expect it.
You're not even ready.
You know what? The game has changed. The game has changed to a point where what you had to do before to show you was fucking with somebody, I felt like required a little more just literal, actual in the world, actually fucking with them, pulling up, doing stuff. You had to actually show somebody really fucking with them. And now it's like somebody put you on their gram or, you know, I shouted you out of my story. Like, can't you tell I fuck with you?
Like my picture 3 times we go together.
It's like, oh, I be liking all your shit. I be putting you on my Instagram. Can't you tell I fuck with you? Like, I'm not trying to be a groupie. I fuck with you. Be like, you have to sift through that. And, you know what I mean? You really just have to know the difference between somebody that really fuck with you and that don't. But that's morals. That comes from how you was raised.
So what's the difference for you a little bit?
I mean, somebody that really fuck with you, they gonna fuck with you when you like low. You know what I'm saying? Or when it's not a look. This is why I carry myself the way that I do. Like so. Just raw and true, because it's like, yo, when I come out the house looking crazy or not looking like Caleborate, or you know what I'm saying, when I do anything normal, human, that's not, whoa, are you still there? Yeah. Like, are you still around? Do you still think I'm that cool? Because if you really fuck with me, then you think I'm almost everything I do. You know what I mean? You fuck with me like, yo, that's just Killabh. And Killabh, it's cool. Like, it's not like he has to do this cool thing that all the fans love. He just has to do him. Yeah. So you're sort of able to discern, like, you take your shoes off, somebody's house, feet stink. They feel you cool with that? How they rock with you? Y'all cool? I mean, my feet don't stink all the time, but they do right now. I'm human. Are we cool? Like, are we still cool? Or and did my clout level go down because I'm not wearing Gucci socks? Like, you know, you just have to perceive all that kind of stuff. Or, you know, if we out to eat and I'm like, yo, man, I don't have $5 on me. It's little things, kind of stuff where you can see the human element of somebody, and if they really fuck with you, you know, people will go that extra mile if they really fuck with you. So just you see it.
Now, with your music, I want to just jump back to something because it was something that you touched on. You mentioned gun violence and your friend. First off, you know, sorry for the loss, obviously. How has that affected your music, though? Because it seems like, you know, he was one of the core people for you, next to, you know, your manager, your brother, your father. You're losing that.
Me and my boy, so this is what losing my boy Darian did for me. Put things in perspective. I grew up with Darian in Sacramento. We grew up as kids from, went to elementary school together. So 6, 7 years old or whatever to 18. Sacramento is it's a really big city, but it's like, it's not the most popping, cultural, vibrant city. So it's really like a go to high school, graduate, get a job, like just, you know, run the mill. Like, at least that's what it was when I was there. Things are changing now, technology. People can do anything from the crib, but back then it was like, kind of, this is it. Yeah. That's what you do. And so I left after high school to go to college and do the whole music thing or whatever. And me and my friend Darian, we grew up playing ball together. In elementary school, we played against each other. In middle school, we played together on AAU teams. I knew his mom, I knew his little sister, I knew his siblings, I knew his family. And Darian was from the south side of Sac, like myself. And he didn't have his pops in his life like mad heavy. And my dad was our basketball coach. So me and Darian used to always run around. But, you know, Darian you know what I'm saying, we grew up together just playing ball and stuff like that. And like I said, he didn't have his dad like in his life mad heavy, you know what I'm saying? So my pops was our basketball coach and whatever, so we just got used to spending a lot of time together, just being like, that's my boy. And we would practice together, we would shoot around, we played in elementary school, we played AAU. And the thing that's eerie that made this whole thing even become a part of my project was I was working at, I was going to school at Expression College, and I was working at Urban Outfitters, and it was, one day I was closing, and I was working at Urban Outfitters in Emeryville. So Emeryville is like Bay Area, Sacramento is like maybe an hour and a half. It's slightly different between upstate to New York City. Mm-hmm. So imagine you working, whatever, retail down here or something like that, and your boy from upstate that you ain't seen in years, few years, just pops into your job, and y'all childhood friends like, yo, bro, how you been? So he walked in, and I'm like, dog, I ain't seen him in forever. I'm completely different. I'm good facial hair, like, I'm 21, 22 at the time. I ain't seen him in a few years. He got a couple tats, hair and chat. I'm like, yo, like my boy, you know what I mean? Like, I was hyped. And I was like, yo, I got his number. I was like, yo, man, when I get off work, let's go get some drinks, whatever. Ended up having to stay late. We didn't get a chance to link up that night. Next thing, about maybe a month or two later, gone. So that just sort of, it kind of rocked, you know what I mean? It rocked me in the sense that this was a good friend of mine growing up. Childhood friend, we stayed close all the way through school. I left to go do music and go to college or whatever, and I felt like, oh, I have to abandon my old life because I'm trying to like blow up. I gotta focus on school and music. Like, I can't go back, I can't do it. And in doing that, you like I said on the project, you lose, like, you can't go back, you know what I mean? Like, your like my focus, it was in the wrong place, I think. Like, that was my boy, and like, we followed each other and stuff on social media, we was Facebook friends, whatever. I don't know why I never stayed in touch. Like, I don't understand why I didn't take the chance, like the opportunity. We don't live that far. And so now to look up and see that time wasted, and just to see like, you can't get it back. I haven't even spoke to his mom since the shit happened. I just feel like I got so disconnected, like, from people that I love, I cared about. Just, I don't even know why. I don't know why, or what made me want to be like, so focused on doing music and so focused on just making it and shit. But it's a conflict that I think a lot of us, people of color, people from urban environments, you know what I'm saying? It's a conflict that we face. You have that battle of, do I stay or do I go? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Staying usually correlates with a lesser quality of life. Going usually correlates with a better quality of life. Mm-hmm. And then going and making that transition, you lose that, like, you inherently, you're gonna lose people from the other side. Things like, I don't know, it's just, I feel like it's a conflict that I don't think we should have to face. And I'm not the only one, I'm sure. I'm not the only one who's been faced with that same conflict, that same decision of, well, I gotta leave my hometown, I gotta stay out of it. You know what I mean? Shit, I be watching cold documentaries as fools, like, yeah, like, I remember we were 17, and my boy got locked up for selling dope, he was locked up for 30 years, I ain't never seen his daughter. Like, it's like, it's crazy. You just wanted to go to college and do a better life, but it's like you're one of the select few to make it out, and that survivor's remorse is crazy. Yeah,
it's you almost feel bad for being successful. You feel bad because the people you grew up with, and maybe you considered them your best friends at one point. Yeah. You kind of not to maliciously distance yourself from them, but you feel like, all right, I'm trying to go in this direction. You're going this direction, and that's cool. Right. But you still feel that sense of, damn, like,
it's a sense of guilt.
Yeah, did I shit on my nigga? Or thank you. Like, I shit on my nigga? Am I okay because I'm trying to further my life? Like, it's a tough thing. Yeah, it's a tough thing.
Yeah, it definitely is, and it's not even for that. Like, there's this kid that I grew up with, and he contacted me this was a couple years ago, but he contacted me, wanted to hang out. I wasn't able to do it, and then literally like a couple days later, he died from an overdose. Mm-hmm. And I had so much guilt because I was like, what ifs? Like so many what ifs. Like, what if I hung out with him? What if I, talked to him more? Like, maybe things could have changed. So, like, I completely understand. It's just like this weird sense of guilt that you feel.
Yeah. But I think that's more of a conscious thing, too. Like, there's some people in the world be like, you make it to a certain point and like, all right, well, fuck it. I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? And then there's people like yourself where you're like, damn, like, I feel bad for kind of being successful.
Yeah.
And I think that normalizes you and humanizes you, I should say, which I think is admirable. I think that's really dope. So as you're now on this pinnacle and you're now going on your journey, how does that affect, I guess, those old relationships? Do you ever bump into people, or do you see people that you never even thought was even into your music, like, yo, Caleborate, this shit is fire?
I try to take that time now. Like, after Darian passed, I really try to take that time now. Like, anytime I get hit up, especially from somebody that I knew when we were younger or whatever, I take that time and I'll hit people and just be like, yo, I know we ain't talking in a minute, but I just want to let you know, like, hope everything's going well, shoot a prayer for you, like, stay up. I try to take that time, and I do have a lot of people from back when I was in high school, middle school, whatever, friends that just fuck on my music. Not even want to know, like, yo, let's be friends so I can get famous, nothing. Just want something like, wow, like, man, your progression is crazy, I'm a big fan. And I try to take that time. It gets difficult because as you get more big, you new fans and new people, friends who need that love too. But I guess it's just, deciding and making sure that you knock out, like, talk to those them rocks,
the core
people, like, just never losing that touch. And that's what losing Darian taught me. That's what it changed about me. I hate that. I mean, I don't even really like to speak on it too much, but it just woke me up in a sense. And I do feel like when I was making the project, like, bro was watching over me. You know what I'm saying? I feel like mad blessed when I was writing everything and stuff. I just felt like I was good. Like, you know what I mean? I just felt like I was
you had
good.
that sense of comfort.
Yeah, I just felt like I was good. Like, I feel like, I feel like God was watching over me on this. I feel like my nigga was watching over me on this shit. Like I said, I was my guardian angel through this whole process. I feel like Darian was watching. That's not just a chance encounter, especially from a best friend like that, like from way back. Like, when I seen him, it was crazy. Like, when I seen him and I was working, like, it was like, man, we like freaked out. You know what I mean? It was like, dude, like, wow, like, we're grown-ups. Like, I'm sorry, so it was dope. But it just made me grow a lot and like mature a lot and shit. So
yeah, and your maturity obviously is, like you said, is ahead of its time.
I feel like he's way more mature than me. I'm wild and mature.
Nah, man, nah.
Facts.
I be wild now too.
It make me want to be.
It's good. Like, you gotta have a nice balance though. Like, you're young.
Is that hating if I'm jealous that he's more mature than me?
No,
I'm hating.
Everyone's different. You're good in your own way, Brandon. Like, you.
Terrible.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
My credit's terrible, by the way. Sure. Like, just so everybody doesn't get too hyped. Put my phone bill on time all the time. I'll be like, woke. Still gotta get my shit together for sure.
Oh my God, don't we all? I feel like every phase of life you gotta get your shit together at one point or another in some fashion.
Life comes at you fast.
Facts.
And I think experiences teach you that faster than what you would if you didn't experience things. You know what I'm saying? Like, had you not gone through so much at such a young age, I don't know that your content would still, you know what I mean, would be the same. I don't know that you would still believe in your own content and believe in, like, oh no, I want this message to get out. These people need to hear it because somebody else may be, going through it. So has there ever been a fan that's, shared a personal moment with you? It's like, yo, Caleborate, I just want to know, X, Y, Z song it hit home for me.
Man, more than I can count. You know what I mean? So many. And that's one, I've been saying this for the longest. Like, when I get my paper right, I'm going to get a stenographer and an assistant. And we just going to sit in like an office or something like that. And we're going to go through all Instagram DMs, Twitter DMs, and we just gonna smoke and reply to every single one until they all done. We just gonna be in the room and just, like, I'm gonna just take a whole day and reply actual replies, because, like, people be sending me such real shit. But I'm on the train or I'm doing a studio session or I'm shooting a video. It's like, you don't want to just be like, yo, bro, stay up. I appreciate it. Like, that's kind of, it's cool. But people tell you things about their family or their sexual orientation or their pockets, they school. Like, you want to be like, yo, bro, like, I hear you on that. I had a moment like this on my own or something, and just really, I don't like to trivialize people's experience because people don't do that with mine. They listen to my music and they take it in and allow it to be as real and serious as it is to me, to them. So I like to do the same thing with them, but a number of fans, you know what I mean? Because that's the music. The music is so visceral like that. I think it just inspires people, makes people want to just tell the truth like that. So I actually really love it. Like I said, one day I'm gonna get together with somebody and I'm gonna just bang all the responses.
That's dope. That's dope for that to be one of your goals.
That's a goal. It'd be a fun ass day. Smoke some weed, play some music, read all the DMs. That'd be nice to hear too. That'd be dope.
Oh, that's definitely gonna be fun because you gotta get some interesting DMs too, bro.
Lots of love too, like because it's still something that weighs on me all the time. Every time I get on my Instagram and if I go to the section of where I have DM requests, you know what I mean? So I have to allow or decline certain things, and I go in and I see a few that's just long, and I'm like, man, there's no time. There's not enough time. It's just not enough time in the day to sit and read through. Even if I just do 5, there's 45 other people who didn't get. So it's like I'll be sitting on them. I sometimes screenshot them, and I'll just be like, all right, I'm gonna get back to these people when I get the real time to hit them back on something real. I try to hit people back if I can when I see it, but I want to do it right, man. Because I don't know, maybe I just need to hit people back and just be like, yo, thank you. I feel like I want to do it right, People write all that deep shit. You want to just be like, yo, that's what's up, bro. Stay up. Hey, I don't want to do that to people. I don't want to play people. So I'm really trying to manage that and do it right. But yeah, that's gonna be some fun shit to do. Like for real. Go out and talk to people.
I mean, if you really want to do it, you can even do it where it's like you're allocating at least 20 to 30 minutes every day, just answering.
If I have 20, 30 minutes to allocate every day, shoot, I don't know. With how things be going and how much we have to focus on the project, videos, writing, working, memorizing freestyles, memorizing verses, planning out the tour, stacking with me. Dealing with my auntie. Be like, man, I guess, I know I could, man. I guess that's the growing part about it too. That's the me being 24, being like, because if I really want to sit down and do, I could do anything. I could be vegan if I really wanted to. You know what I mean? I just choose for some reason not to, be that mature, be that focused.
Well, it's priority too. I think your heart is in the right place. It's just one of those things where, damn, is there really enough time in the day to do this? What could I be doing to progress myself, and then maybe impact them more versus doing that now? So I still think that's dope. That's one of the first times I think I've ever heard an artist. There's only one other artist that I know that does that. That really cares about the listeners, but on a personal level, like wants to have that connection with them. And I think that's how you build your core audience. You know what I'm saying? I think that's really dope. Joe.
Oh yeah.
Joe is very big on, like, he was one of the first artists on Def Jam that, he had his old message board. Def Jam, at the time they were very big on, don't talk to your fans. You're giving them too much access to you. You're telling them personal shit. You know what I'm saying? Where he was like, nah, like, this person just lost their moms. This person is battling with drug addiction. I can identify with it. I want to connect with them. You know what I'm saying? It went from there to doing fucking like kickball games and you know what I mean, dope fun shit to now present day his fans no matter what. You know what I'm saying?
They fuck with Joe. You know what I mean? They appreciate Joe, and that's the key. And that's exactly how I built. And that's how we done it. Yeah. I think that's the way that it should be. I don't think there's a delicate balance between artistry and celebrity. I don't think that celebrity is wrong. I know we were talking earlier, and I was saying I'm not all about the fame. I don't think celebrity is wrong in this sense. If you're incredible at what you do, people should treat you like you're incredible at what you do. If you're LeBron, you should not have to wait for a table like everybody else. Because you know what? When we tune in on Friday, you know what I mean? You're giving your all.
And you're giving your all.
You know what I'm saying? So and the same goes for a musician, a painter, whatever. If you Kanye done wild the hell out, but Kanye done gave us some like.
He's a genius.
He's a genius.
He's a genius.
And you gotta treat him like such. You gotta respect him like such. I mean, you know, he's honed the talent, honed the skill. You know, he's blessed. He's stuck in the pocket through difficult times and still giving us music. Like, you have to respect that. And I think that it's okay for someone to have that celebrity for that fact, for busting their ass and being good at what they do. You have to forgive me because I trailed off and I forget the damn ultimate question. I don't know why I forget that.
No, it was more so a statement. It was just me saying that I think it's admirable that you really, one of your goals is to connect with your fans. I just think that that's dope. You know what I'm saying? Again, it just, you're kind of winning me over. Like, again, and not to say that you have to, but I think that that's really dope. Yeah. I just do. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear that every day. Most people just like, yo, I'm just trying to, just keep cranking out these hits, my nigga. Just trying to, live these dreams. Right. It's very seldom that you hear somebody say, I got all these aspirations, I'm doing all this, but
to add that other part.
I wanna really get to know my fans better. Like I just think that's dope.
Yeah.
So like various things that we said or we talked about, it's like a balancing act. So you obviously have been on many websites. You've also been on Most Necessary for Spotify, which is really dope. So what is that balancing act in terms of like being a rising artist? Because I know we talked about it before where I was saying from a media perspective, like I don't like when people bombard me with tweets. Like I am like one of the very few media people that will be like, here, just send it to this email. Like I prefer that way. But for any rising artists that are looking at your position right now, like what is that balancing act to the point where it's like where you contact media, but then like you don't want to get to the point where you're just annoying the crap out of them the entire time, especially on Twitter?
For this project, I think really at this stage in my career too, I've sort of shifted into just putting out my content and letting the fans have it and make it what it is, and make it special. Being published and posted on blogs is cool, and that you definitely want to have that for the official factor. You know what I mean? Yeah. You need to be able to say, "Look, that's me. I'm legit. Yeah. People care. That's important." But it's not the end all to be all, and it takes time to learn that because that's the only thing you see when you want to be a rapper. You're like, "Well, everybody has double XL complex. I need to be on Fader. I need to be in game." But the way that you get there is by building. It's building blocks, and your fans. Taking care of your fan base and having a strong fan base, that's more important than having the blog post because the fans, like you said, Joe's fans are always there. They're not going anywhere. Whether it's a double XL post, a Fader post, complex, doesn't matter. Joe's fans, Joe puts something out there, they're going to it wherever he puts it. So then he becomes an outlet for his own self. Yeah. And then, a lot of times, damn near when you do that, people start coming to you, like, can we put this on? Can you co-sign this? Something like that. And you can turn yourself into like a brand or a bag, you know what I'm saying, in another sense. But it's just a long, slow grind to do it. But once it happens, you put yourself on and it's cool, but it's still going. I mean, we're still in the grind right now. Yeah. Thank God, 20,000 followers on Instagram, that's great, but that's not like, that's kids with 500,000 at home somewhere right now, on YouTube or something, So, we still in the grind, but that having that foundation is incredibly important and solid.
Yeah, we understand that grind too. Yeah. From a podcast standpoint, we're like,
podcast shit ain't no joke, man. I ain't gonna lie. Doing shit independent and from the ground up, this has been like a real big eye opener, at least for me. Like seeing what it takes to get with people like you and being able to put all of what embodies a podcast, I think it's dope. Yeah. What do you want your legacy to be? Because and it may be that you may not know yet, you know what I'm saying, because you're still young, even though I feel like you're like Benjamin Button. I do.
Minus the wrinkly.
Minus the wrinkles. You know what I mean. Goddamn, he knows what I mean. The movie's good. We're vibing. He knows what the fuck I mean. But like, so what do you want if you had to leave a lasting impression on a first-time listener? What would you want them to walk away with from a legacy perspective?
Yeah, as long as you feel my music, as long as as long as it makes you feel, I mean, preferably something good, you know what I mean? Or whatever the song is meant to make you feel, but as long as the feeling that I was trying to convey, you know, goes over and it hits you, that's really it to me. The music is the most important thing. Mm-hmm. And it always comes back to that. The fame and the celebrity is cool, but I'd rather people like my music. Oh, the money's cool, but I'm not going to do no song if I don't like it. Oh, this is cool, but, you know, so everything is the music. I guess my legacy is, you know, like the project is to just be a real person. I hope to inspire a little more authenticity in hip-hop, in music, and beyond just that, I want to do things artistically, fashion, music, or movies, film, you know, or anything, art, design in the house, you know, anything. But my main legacy, I just want to be able to make people like feel like you're a real true artist, man. Like Al Green or something like that's a real artist, man. You know, that's a real. I'm just in just the sense, in the sense that when you play Al Green, it's a whole different. Yeah. It's a whole. I love a lot of music, but it's it's a whole different thing, man. And it can never. That's never gonna. It's not never going. That shit's irreplaceable. It'll be 2080, and people will still be playing Al Green like, oh, let's stay together. You know what I mean? So that's really it. I want to stay with it like that, man. I want the music. It's in the music. Like Michael Jackson stuff ain't never going nowhere. Prince stuff ain't never going. And that makes you really feel like, okay, I did something with my time. You know what I'm saying? Because, and I hate to ramble, but it reminds me of something a good friend of mine said. She was reading me this quote from this philosopher or something. He was saying that oftentimes we say life is too short. He said, it's not that life is too short, it's that in far too many moments, we spend the time that we have doing stuff that we don't need to be doing or have to do. And then when we get to our older years, we're like, oh, I can't believe it's, you know what I mean? But when you compile all the time we all spent doing whatever, I mean, we go to the club, we smoke, fuck around, do whatever you do. Mm-hmm. And then you look up and you be like, damn, I could have done that or I could have done that. And I do the shit. I be doing it now. I'll be like, man, I'm smoking weed just sitting here. Like I could be doing something productive. Like you said, that 20, 30 minutes to hit those people back. Right there, you know what I mean? So it's not that maybe you don't have the time or that things are too short. It's maybe sometimes we don't maximize our time on the earth. So when I do music or when I do anything, really with this music shit, I'm trying to maximize. You know what I mean? Because I feel like a gift I've been blessed with. So I don't want to do nothing less than 100. You know? Because it's a blessing. It's a blessing. Like thankfully I can do music. So I'm like I'm going 100 at it. You know what I mean? Period. Like, I'm not finna take no plays off because I couldn't, you know, like, I'm thankful that I got blessed with this, something to do. Like, I tried to play basketball. I wasn't as good at that. You know what I mean? I wish I could turn up on the court like I can turn up on a beat. You know, I wish I could. So, the music is my thing. So, I'm like, oh, I'm not wasting this. You know? That's how I feel about it. I try to go hard. That's my legacy, is just to be great at my music. You know? That's what I do.
As a rising artist, you are someone who does not advocate for the use of drugs. And
weed is not a drug, so
no. Hasn't killed anyone. Except apparently it almost did with ice.
That's one of my friends.
One of his friends like literally was gonna be the first person.
I've had a freak out too.
Oh man,
say no to weed.
This stuff was crazy.
Say no to weed.
But I mean, when I say that, I mean like the harder drugs, because unfortunately, like now, when it comes to some certain rising artists, people are kind of bothered from the fact that they're like supporting, advocating for like Xanax and lean and stuff like that. So for you, like, why is it important as an artist to not be someone that is in your music, like, push, like, no, I wouldn't say necessarily pushing that, but, like, not really talking about that, or, like, not really being, like, one that's, like, glamorizing gun violence, because you could talk about that, you could do that, but you choose not to. So why do you think that's important?
Well, like, there's a difference between glamorizing things and just talking about it, you know what I mean? I'm no stranger to doing things that I'm not proud of. Like, I've done drugs before drugs other than weed. I got my own life. I got my past, my skeletons, all that kind of stuff like everybody else. But it just depends on. It's like Nas said, are you the type of nigga to shoot a leg to get your name known? You know what I mean? Like, really, you want the clout that bad? You know, and I don't want to be famous or known for like, oh, I'm just such a badass. I should do such great. Because it's like, well, why'd you do it? Did you do it because I'll put it this way: drugs. If you're doing drugs or if you do drugs, whatever, it's a choice at that moment in your life, at that time, for whatever reason that it is. I would hope that reason is a real reason and not it's cool. You know what I mean? Because granted, I understand that people can, and kids and everything like that can be coerced into that through just seeing it and hearing it. Yeah. But for those of adults and so like the people who rap and make all these songs, it's like I would hope that if you're talking about this drug use, you're talking about it for a real reason. Yeah. And if you're speaking about it from a real place, then it's going to come off. Honestly, it should come off as more of a cautionary tale than like, we doing this, we doing that, That's glamorizing it. And at that point, you may have to ask yourself, well, why? And some artists, I do respect artists that come out and they say, yeah, I do all this because I got dead homies. I can't live through this shit, like straight up. And so I exist medicated. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's real. There's a difference between that and like, you doing this like, well, that's because you want to live the rap lifestyle. So it depends on if you're talking about it to bring light to the situation and just tell you the truth versus glamorizing it. And I'm not into glamorizing that kind of shit.
Yeah. Now, I know we're getting sidetracked, but I'm curious. So I know you have a record with Jeezy. Mm-hmm. How did that union come about? Even though I know y'all all Baymous and shit, and y'all
they got like a Bay clan too.
Yeah,
like the Bay Area has its own little family.
Yeah.
Like he's like extremely famous, so his Baymous level's off the charts.
So he's like Baymous times 4.
Right. He's like a mega star, but like I said, that circle is, his level is much higher than a lot of MCs coming out of the Bay. However, he's still an MC from the Bay. You still care about what, if you a baller from New York, you still go into the court to see who's playing. Like, you still care. Like, how my court doing? I grew up, you know what I mean? How my guys, is there anybody new out here? Like, shit, I made a bunch of money. I can come back and help somebody out. Yeah. And I think that his mentality has been sort of like that way. Like, I'm staying in touch with cats. If they're doing good music, ain't no reason why we can't knock a song out. And that's cool because it gives an artist a larger platform. It's a good thing to do. But we just linked up just off of, like I said, just the Bay. You know what I mean? I dropped hella good. The album was making noise. And it's like, you can't, if you coming back to check on the court, somebody tell you it's a kid over here doing numbers. Yeah. You're like, oh, let me holler at you. You know what I'm saying? We ain't even, I don't even got to sign you or anything like that. But we just need to be cool because I was you one day. You know what I mean? So when you get to here, call me, so. The relationship that G and I have is also beyond just being two rappers. The stature that he's at in his career. Sometimes I ask him just tips, bro. What do you eat when you're on the road? You know what I mean? How do you manage doing this many interviews or doing that many fashion things or shoots? Just game. It's just like he's a professional. So he's like an NBA look. If you were a guy in college, or a guy coming up, you'd be like, shit, I want all. Like I said, about listening to people and taking what I can get. I want all the little tidbits I can get because I'm about to come back home with NBA level. I'm about to come back home, you know what I mean? Strength training on cats like they have no idea. You know what I'm saying? So he just stays connected to what's going on back home. That's really important for sure.
Yeah. This Bay Area is like it's like a clan.
It's like a gang.
It's literally.
It's like a good gang.
It's like a good like a band.
Yeah, we talked to Marty, and Marty was telling him about us, and like, even like the publicists too. They all got the same freaking publicists. Like it's crazy.
I just think that's dope, and especially in hip hop, it's needed. You know what I'm saying? Where normally, and especially with black folks, you know what I'm saying? It's often where everyone is self-destructive or things like that. So I always like that
mentality.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
And especially coming from the hood and growing up in urban America, it's normally a dog-eat-dog world. So to see all of y'all kind of sticking together and kind of cultivating each other and giving each other jewels, that's fire.
The thing is, too, about the Bay is it sort of has to be like that. To reference how we began the conversation, talking about the size of the culture. It's not enough heads out there for artists to just pop and blow up on their own. Like out in New York, easy. If you got some shit going, like it's gonna go, and you can go. You don't have to. You don't got to talk to Jay. You don't got to talk to Nas. You don't have to talk to nobody. You just blow up and you go. In the Bay, it's not necessarily the same way. You could be blowing up at home, but you're just blowing up at home. So you gotta, you know what I mean? You may have to make link ups, and so. Like I said, for him to reach back and do things with artists, it certainly adds to a lot of artists' resumes too. Yeah, song with G, by the way. Oh, shit, you've been exposed to this market and you've seen this on that level, and then it kind of helps you get a foot in the door, maybe, or meet somebody. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good stuff.
Yo, this has been a great freaking podcast. It is a Friday night. We could be turning up. But we turn it up on the podcast.
On the podcast.
So here with
Here with me.
Yeah.
So we're gonna circle back. Oh my gosh, we keep circling back. But
I know,
you know what?
It
just happens. We get to good conversations and we go trail off somewhere else, and now we're back here.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Real Person.
Yes.
What song was the hardest for you to write personally?
Ooh. That's actually not difficult. I know that one for sure. The first track, Caught Up, it's about when I was going through a breakup. I remember when I wrote that shit. That was a lit.
Hold on.
So the hardest record for me to write on the project easily was the first track, Caught Up. Just because it dealt with I was going through two major things at the time. I was going through a breakup and I was seeing my dad for the first time in like 4 or 5 years. I was in Atlanta with my pops. Going through the breakup, go on Snapchat, see my ex go at the club. Oh man, I was going.
You told me he was going to sleep and you were like, man.
It was bad. It was exactly that. She won't hit me back. I was like, oh man, it was
yikes.
It was tough. It was tough, but best thing about it, that's what I'm saying. Like, music is my thing, because when I have nothing else to do, I write. That's my only thing. And I was like, well, fuck, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just write about it. And I just, my friend sent me some beats, and I was like, man, I need a beat. I need a beat.
I'm trying to tear it.
Give me the boot.
I was like, yo, I'm about to write it all. And so I put it all on that record, and like, it was tough. I remember the night I wrote it, I didn't even go to sleep that night. I was up till like 6, 7 in the morning. Like, we had an Airbnb, me, my dad, my brother, my sister-in-law, and my nephew. Like, we kind of went out there, everybody went out there. And my nephew had met my granddad, his granddad for the first time. So my dad he had to meet my dad for the first time. So when we was out there, like, all that was going on, I obviously couldn't sleep. I was like, yo, I just got to stay up. I must have went through 4 or 5 different cups of tea, and, just trying to, like, make it through the night. But Caught Up was the one. That was tough, man. Sure.
So what else can we expect from you in the future? Obviously you got this project. Mm-hmm. What else do you have in store?
We gonna push the hell out of this project. I was talking earlier at lunch with a couple homies, and I was really saying, this project, man, it feels like currently my best work, and it feels good because I've been rapping since I've been 16, 17. So we're looking at 6, 7 years of doing this, and they say like 10,000 hours. You master something 10,000 hours, and not to say that I feel like I've mastered it, because I know I keep learning every day. I keep learning every day. I'll write something 2 weeks ago, I read it, and I'll be like, man, I could do better than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, for me, it's pushing the hell out of this project right now. I really put a lot into making it, and making it as good as it is, and I don't want to do it any type of disservice. So I'm throwing whatever money I can at it to shoot a bomb video. I'm doing my merch. I'm not fucking around, because, on other projects, I never really was able to do everything proper. But this one, like, we got it mastered. Not just mixed, we got it mastered. You know what I'm saying? We got the artwork. I got everything like vectored and stuff. I mean, I was like, I don't want nothing coming out pixelated. Like, you know, this is low key my baby. Like, I worked really hard on this one, so I just want to give it like the best chance. You know what I mean? To just be as successful as possible. So videos, you know, more merchandise, tours, like shows, the whole nine. Just pushing it as much as it can go, and in the process, continuing to work on new music. I have a bunch of stuff that I'm gonna start releasing soon, but I'm like, let's stay here for a minute because it was a pain in the ass. Like I said, I wrote the damn first song.
Need that good break for it.
Too much tea.
I did that first song, going through all that shit. I'm like, yeah, we're not finna let this shit just go by the wayside. This song finna be y'all all finna hear this shit. But that's it, you know, just staying constant, staying consistent with it. It's hard, you know. So
I've enjoyed this conversation.
I see you smiling. Like
I am, man. Because I feel like it's a real nigga, man. I do.
Yeah.
You know me. I get sucked in, man. I do. I love people that really care about people, but care about the art. You know what I'm saying? Like the artistry. You know what I'm saying? I've been in so many different circles musically and seen so many different artists. Some good, some bad, some just straight assholes. People that I've looked up to, and you meet them, it's just like, damn, like you're a fucking dick.
Yeah.
So to meet someone that is really passionate about the music, passionate about the craft, but also passionate about his fans and what his music does to them, or what type of emotions it invokes, I think is dope. I really, really do, and I really, really wish you much success. Definitely, you know, I'll be following, I'll be supporting. And I'm honest, so I'm gonna tell you, I'm like, yo, Killabh, that number 2 was trash, but number 3, that's my shit.
That's all I ask, because I'm like, all I ask, I just tell people like, yo, man, we can just cut the BS. Because you know what, we're here, we get it. It's 2017. Just cut the
basically.
BS. And like you said, about meeting artists and you hold them up to this point, and you like, man, this guy's a fucking asshole. Like, it makes me be like, not even, you know. And so now that's what makes me be like, I don't never want to be that to nobody because it's sick. That feeling just sucks. And I'm like, nah, we need to stop that shit because that's whack.
Yeah. You know, so, I mean, again, stay humble, stay grounded, stay grinded.
Of course.
And again, we appreciate you coming on.
Yes.
Thank you guys for having me.
Grassroots. Once again, Brandon Killabh Hall.
Erin Ashley Simon.
Collaborate here with Grassroots. You know I had to drop the tag in there, baby. What's up? Showing love. I appreciate y'all, man.
Peace. We out.